Scene 2, take 1. Effort, our blood, sweat, and tears, we actually.
Eric said
Waikiki.
we get Jazz Odinson to become Thor lah.
Hey, PG-13 content. Hey guys, and welcome to the Geek Street podcast where the street speaks. So we are really excited to be here today because this is our very first podcast video that we're doing. So, we are just basically a bunch of guys who are stuck during the MCO and decided to get together and do something that we love, which is talking about movies. And we are avid Marvel, DC, and Star Wars fans, so I'm pretty sure you guys would enjoy our context and our content because this is what we're going to be talking about most of the time. So my name is Jazz, and I'm basically the guy who writes the program for this show, and I'm also the host for today. And a little bit on how we started Geek Street. It was just a simple thing. When Loki was going on, we decided, the four of us to get together to just talk about Loki, and we had a good discussion about it, and we decided why not let's turn this into a podcast, and so here we are today. And so we have my friends over here. Sean, why not introduce yourself and what do you do for the podcast?
Hey guys, my name is Sean, and basically I set up the call for us to meet together because these guys can't take it. That I set up the YouTube channel and also the Instagram account. We'll leave all those in the description down below. So go follow, like, and just comment on all of our contents. All right.
And Eric?
Hey guys, I'm Eric. I'm also from KL. I'm not sure if anyone said they were from KL. All of us are Malaysians. I'm actually in charge of the recording, so I do the overlay and record our podcasts or videos or anything. Yeah, that's basically about it. And I'm hyped and excited to see where this is going to go in the long run. Let's go!
Okay, last but not least, Harbin.
What's up, guys? I'm Harvin, and I'm not from KL. I'm your local Ampang boy.
Wow.
So yeah, what basically I do the cuts and edits for these videos. So I really hope you guys I'll insert some memes here and there. So it's all for you guys. It's all for you guys to enjoy and watch the video and what is our content like. And yeah, I'm pretty hyped about how we started this, and I would actually thank Sean for this because if he didn't make that call, hey dude, let's talk about Loki. We want to discuss about this, and then so we talked about Loki, and then somehow it led us to creating our own YouTube channel, Geek Street Podcast. So yeah, I'm really hyped.
So I guess all of us can give credit to Sean lah. I don't think he only set up the call only, but yes, he brought up this whole idea. So here we are, and just to chit chat with you guys lah. How did everyone's week go? I know me and Eric, we had our vaccination on Friday, which was yesterday. I had my second dose and Eric had his first dose.
Yep.
So, Eric, how did your vaccination go?
It was okay. Mine was on Wednesday, so it was okay. It was like it was very fast. So I had a long drive. It was in Rawang, so I had a long drive going there and coming back. I had a few police stops and all, but it was okay lah. The process was very fast and easy. It was just in and out, and everybody there was very helpful and friendly. So it was fun. It was interesting. Yeah. I'm actually kind of excited for my second one, just to get it done with. And I think the only time where you actually go out and see people and communicate with people is during the vaccination process. So it's like kind of nice to have that. Yeah. Besides that, I think it's okay. It's cool.
Yeah, I think going out for your vaccine is like an exciting ride, going for a joyride. Actually, what happened to me, basically it's my mother lah. Me and my mother, we had our vaccines on the same day. So the first dose when we went for, mine was in Bukit Jalil Stadium and hers was in Axiata Stadium. So my process was very smooth. I was done within 15 minutes. But hers, it took her 2.5 hours because
Dang.
hers was Pfizer and the crowd was mad crazy. So people were crowding up. So once I was done, I had to wait for her. So when it came to the second dose, what she planned was, because she didn't want to go through that crowd and those 2 hours, she decided that she wanted to put bandage on her leg and to pretend that she sprained her foot so that when she goes there, they'll put her on a wheelchair and bring her straight in. But what happened was when we went there, as you guys know, that Friday it was raining heavy. Okay, it was raining really heavy. So when we parked the car and we were stuck in the jam and we walked to the center, she was wearing slipper with a bandage, so her leg was soaking wet. Okay, and she went to the center. When she went to the center, she realized that the place was empty. The place was empty, so suddenly she panicked, and it's so obvious if you ask for a wheelchair. So like three people came, one Relay guy came and asked, do you want a wheelchair? Then she's like, no, it's okay, I'm okay. And she had to pretend limping all the way. So the health official came to ask her, and she said don't want. Even the nurse to inject also, she said it's okay. And then she had to maintain that act. She had to limp back out until she comes to me. So yeah, she regretted that whole thing. She didn't know why did she even put the bandage on her leg in the first place.
It would have worked like if it was jam packed like sardines lah.
Yeah,
would've
it would have worked because they immediately came and asked
Yeah.
for a wheelchair.
No, I'm surprised that you didn't do that.
Mine was smooth. I didn't have to do anything. I was just done within 15 minutes. But yeah, I would do that if I have to lah.
Someone could
Yeah, I
give you
bet
a
Jess will be.
power.
I bet Jess be rolling all over the floor. No, I need my vaccine fast.
Yeah.
And guys, whoever is watching out there, please, just advice, please, everyone do take your vaccines. Okay, so it's very important to everyone. Please protect yourself and protect your loved ones. Just a alert here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so moving on.
No, wait. What was that? Was that like a public service announcement or what?
Yeah, I didn't give a PSA. Okay lah, yeah. Go for your vaccine, but then just don't try to pretend that you're injured or anything lah. Just go like normal lah, please. Anyways, so in our podcast today, as our very first podcast, we are going to be covering on two things. Okay, one is Geek Theories. So basically, what we do in Geek Theories, we're just gonna share some theories with you guys, and we're gonna discuss about it and what is our take on it, and more about that later. And then we'll have word on the street. So word on the street is a bit interesting because we took the effort, our blood, sweat, and tears. We actually did a lot of research to try to get you guys the most newest news that has been going on the streets. Articles or paparazzi pictures and such, so we'll be going on to that as well. And yes, last but not least, let's move on to our first segment, Geek Theories. And we are in Geek Theories. Before we move on with the segment, just want to let you guys know, if you are worried about spoilers, don't worry. There's no spoilers about this because we are just sharing on our take and theories on what has happened with the previous MCU movies and series. So if you guys have watched Loki, then you don't need to worry lah. Okay, so our theory for today. Since Loki was one of the biggest series that just ended, and you guys know that the multiverse was introduced in Loki. Not to say introduced, I mean it was introduced before, but properly introduced physically. So we want to talk about what is the multiverse. So a little take on what the multiverse is. If you guys look at the comic, it started out between the aspirants and the celestials. Okay, the reason why I'm breaking this down because as you guys know, Celestials played a big role in the MCU, and you guys know that the Eternals were created by the Celestials, so this should play a major role. So initially there was only one universe, which was called the First Firmament. The First Firmament created the Aspirants and the Celestials, and they had a war. When they had a war, this shattered the First Firmament into an infinite amount of multiverse. So that is how the multiverse was initially born. So and the whole idea of the multiverse is where different things, same character, but doing different things in alternate universes. So, how the multiverse was introduced in the MCU? It was first mentioned verbally in Spider-Man Far From Home. As you guys know, this was discussed between Peter Parker and Nick Fury. But this was the Marvel Universe was actually highlighted even way before, even during Thor: The Dark World. If you see Eric Selvig's scene where he's teaching in a university where he's going crazy and everything, at the back of his board you will see there written Earth 616. So the multiverse has always been highlighted an Easter egg throughout the MCU, and now it's introduced. So it's going to be a huge thing. And I will let Harvin to explain more about the multiverse.
Wait,
Yeah.
before Harvin takes over, I just want to add that it was also mentioned by the in Endgame by what's her name again? What's her name? The Sorcerer Supreme or something like that.
The ancient one.
The ancient one. Yes,
Yeah.
she actually explained
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
She explained it to Hulk about how taking the stone and putting it in the different places can also cause breakage in the timeline and cause multiverse. So she also explained it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
I think
okay,
that
so
was the
since-
first. Yeah, that was the first actually before Far From Home.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
since Eric said that, actually in Doctor Strange itself, the ancient one asked Strange, "What is your role in this multiverse?"
Yeah, yeah,
So she mentions multiverse in Doctor Strange as well. So yeah.
yeah.
So
So Harvin,
Arvind.
take over.
Yeah, so whatever I wanted to basically touch upon, this guy has already touched upon.
Oops.
We've been waiting for this kind of epic moments like multiverse, and so basically like how Jess explained, like the Celestials and the other being, it's basically an expanded version of the Big Bang Theory, as we all know it. It's just a much more bigger version of Big Bang Theory where it breaks off and multiverse stacked upon each other, like how Kang says it, no, a multiverse stacked upon each other. Uh, uh, how do you say, loop
Like
lah,
burger.
yeah, like burger, yeah, you can say like burger. So so in real life itself we have many theories going on, like multiverse here, the alternate realities, or us being in an alternate reality. Maybe you can see Jess as a woman in the other reality, or Eric selling burgers in the other reality, or whatsoever. You can see so many different versions of ourselves, or maybe we won't be even there, or maybe just like how Scarlet Witch she's a nexus being in every version of alternate realities. She's the same, that is what you call the nexus being. So as what we all know, that it was first visualized, as a background, as an Easter egg in Thor. Like how Jess said, Eric Selvig, and then after that we have the ancient one, and then after that we have the bomber from also Spider-Man, which I actually thought that Mysterio was coming from in the multiverse, but then it was on a whole different screenplay and setup. But now they are actually moving forward, the MCU moving forward with the multiverse. You can do so much of things, so much of storylines using the multiverse. You can explain loopholes. You can explain previous movies, problems, issues with the storyline. You can just make it totally something fresh using the multiverse saga. So I'm really hyped with this multiverse moving forward, and of course the multiverse, the ending episode of Loki, it sets up what if. Now I know why they waited long to what if to release. They wanted it to release right after Loki releases, so that we all could understand how the multiverse works, how the visualization of a multiverse would be and everything. Because if you put what if before Loki, it will some people, like maybe comic book lovers, they would understand, but avid moviegoers starting from the MCU movies, a fan from the MCU base, they wouldn't know much. They have to like think how does this even work and everything. So now moving forward with the multiverse expanding from Loki, we are having what if. Then from moving what if, we have Spider-Man, and then from Spider-Man we have Doctor Strange. Moving forward the story, we could practically call it the multiverse saga. After Infinity Saga, now we have the multiverse saga moving forward. So that's my take on the multiverse. I'm just so pretty hyped with how they're going to play it around with.
I have a very curious question though, because I was thinking about it. We all know that Harvin just explained about multiverse, right? But how is it different from alternate universe? Like, yeah, like how like we know multiverse and then alternate universe or alterverse, some will call it. Like what's the difference between those two? Harvin, how would you put it? Or anyone else who knows this answer, like how would you put it?
Honestly, if you ask me, I'm also trying to figure that out because multiverse, I feel multiverse is totally a different stream of solar system. I would say that maybe a different uh, stack of loop of timeline, but alternate realities is from the same timeline, same solar system, but just within inside that solar system, just an alternate reality within that. That is my impression of multiverse and also alternate realities. That's what I think of. Yeah.
Yeah, so like for me, what I would say in terms of, okay, if you look like in Back to the Future, right? So in Back to the Future, how the time travel works in Back to the Future is that if you go back to a past, or you go back to a past, you practically can change your present, right? And subsequently your future. So that would be considered alternate reality rather than multiverse, or expanded timeline or anything like that. It is very different because you still are in the same. So like it goes back to when I was watching Back to the Future just the other day, right? So I was watching Back to the Future, the first movie, and Doc was what they call he drew the timeline on the whiteboard. So he said that if you change your past, right, so then he wipes out the present. The present doesn't exist anymore, right? But in the multiverse, what the ancient one actually explained was that if you change your past, then you create another branch of a timeline that will actually have like a different sort of like a reality lah. A different timeline altogether. The way is different, but your current timeline doesn't affect anything, right? So it just branches out. So I think that is a pretty simple explanation or way of looking at it lah.
Okay, now this is where I come and break your heart. So I did my research on what the multiverse actually means. So in Marvel sense, although I agree to your theories, because even I also think that works. Multiverse basically means different universes. Alternate realities is basically different outcomes in the same universe. But when I read about Marvel's multiverse, the multiverse is basically one of the names of this. So another name for the multiverse is called alternate reality. So they're actually the same thing, because you see the multiverse, although it's infinite, it's a collection of the omniverse. So the omniverse is the major thing, and then we have multiverse in there, right? So based on Marvel, a multiverse can happen when there's a shift in time as well. So basically, like how you mentioned, like what the ancient one says, and even like how Eric referenced the ancient one, speaking about multiverse. Although she was talking about the branching out of reality, but she was referencing it to different universe. So that is the break here. So now, are we talking about branching out? Are these realities or are these different universes? Because they mention in the Marvel comics, where when you use a time machine to travel back in time and you change your course of time, that gives birth to a whole new universe. So
Yeah.
what is your
Based on your explanation on it, right? Which I think, maybe, that could be it lah, right? So because looking back into like Loki episode 6 in the beginning, right? When we see they zoom out of like a universe, and then they zoom back into another universe. So does that mean that it is two different universes, right? That people are from. That means like it's like you go to space and then you see two, like, so many universe out there, right? So is that what is it, or or something else?
Yeah, that's the question right here. Because if you think in the bigger picture, like now, an alternate reality branches. When this reality branches, which universe is this reality in? So it means if you were to travel now, like now you have point A, which is one reality, and you have point B, which is another reality, and there's a possibility that you could travel to these 2 points, either through time or physically. So if you can travel physically, it's considered two different universes. If you travel through time, then it's considered an alternate reality. So how do we go? But it's like are we going to go with Marvel saying that alternate reality is considered another universe, or are we going to go with a much more logical answer?
Like the reason why I came up with this question was because like we're going into a whole, like what Harvin said, we're going into a whole multiverse phase, or saga, you would call it. So most of the movies are already going towards multiverse, right? But we only have one movie, or rather show, you want to call it, that actually referenced alternate reality. That was Into the Spider-Verse. That was the only one animated per se, maybe catered for kids, or for that genre. But I think it's still, they still made it very firm that they wanted to create this whole alternate reality thing, and they did. And interestingly enough, they're actually starting to cast for Into the Spider-Verse 2. So I think that will be their opportunity to give us a brief answer on what is actually the multiverse, and what is actually the alternate reality. Whether it's the same, whether it's a different, or whether alternate reality is just one part of the whole multiverse. Like if let's say they want to compare two universes, that is its alternate. They could do it like that. So I just want to know if any of you maybe already did your research and already know about that, or we just have to wait until Marvel comes up and shows it to us lah, and tell us. But to me, I feel like it's a very kind of like open theory, kind of like open book about it, because it's not like it's happening in our real life where we can relate. It's
Yeah,
literally people created that thing, unless
yeah.
alternate reality and multiverse is true lah. We have to wait for 2358 for men to venture into different universes.
Why that very specific year, Eric?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Okay, you gotta watch. People in 2358 is gonna watch my video and say, "Shit, this guy called it, man."
Are you sure you Eric or the alternate version of Eric?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, I think he's what do you call a multiverse version of Eric Selvig lah.
I mean,
Could be.
Yeah, going crazy.
I think I need to do that Loki thing where I go into that door and check whether I'm human or robot or alien. And then I need to have that in the house.
Yeah.
so they practically make you naked lah.
Yeah.
So basically, like, sorry, Harmin,
Yeah,
what do you say?
I think basically, but we all know that Marvel tend to make things as simple as possible. They would want, because not only for comic book lovers, but also for movie because they wanted to make everyone understand what is the concept of multiverse or alternate realities. Because, but then what's important is for us to also make our own research, because we need to understand more about this also, because moving forward with the phase of MCU, we need to understand how this works as a storyline, as a whole, moving forward with the phase 4 of MCU.
Okay, so I agree with basically what Eric and Harbin were talking about the multiverse, and I think we've discussed too much on the difference between multiverse and alternate reality, but then we won't know, and I hope that the Marvel Cinematic Universe itself will be self-explanatory. It'll just explain on how these two work, the multiverse and the alternate universe. But now what I want to focus on is how our future movies are going to take place in the multiverse. As we know, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man plays a big part in the multiverse. Harvin, would you care to just run through with this?
Yeah, so moving forward from what we know, moving forward with multiverse, we already have a taste, not like a multiverse, but we already have a taste of something moving forward, like an alternate reality from WandaVision. Moving forward, because after that, we know that Scarlet Witch is coming forward to Doctor Strange, is appearing there. So after we have the Loki episode, the whole timeline branching out, and then now we are moving forward to What If episode. Okay, What If? After Shang-Chi, that is all standalone, and then we have jump into Spider-Man, where Doctor Strange is also going to appear in Spider-Man. That's also another. It's said to be another multiverse because we already know that Doc Ock is appearing from the Tobey Maguire movies. Then we know Electro is coming from Andrew Garfield movie. So it's like so many things going on in Spider-Man, and then we have the multiverse madness. Yeah, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So that's like the whole another project. I feel the conclusion won't end in Doctor Strange. It will branch out even more moving forward because we know the Loki. We have season two. So I think season two, Loki season two, it has to overlap between Doctor Strange and also Ant-Man Quantumania. So it's moving forward. Like I said before, it's the multiverse saga. So movies which will be interconnected for now, I think it's going to be Spider-Man, and then we have moving forward with Doctor Strange, and also it will interconnect with Loki season two.
Yeah, there are talks actually for Loki season 2 to come out 2 months before Quantumania. So I think the reason they want to do that is because they want to put a little bit more background story on Kang before they can they can really focus on Quantumania instead of like sacrificing 20 to 15 minutes to show Kang and his origin and his character. They can do so much in a season with Loki season 2 rather than spending 15 to 20 minutes on Quantumania. So that whole chronology will be just fitting for Loki season 2 and Quantumania. And I also want to add like what Harvin said, like we had WandaVision, and then we had Loki, and then now we're going into Spider-Man. I like how Marvel actually created this certain part of elements that each series show. Like in WandaVision, we learn about realities. We learn about this space, this hexagon that people can create that exists in its own self, in its own behavior, in its own in its own timeline. So WandaVision actually explained that, and it also revealed like how Scarlet Witch came into being. And then when it came to Loki, Loki managed to expand on that universe, on that multiverse, and they also showed like variants, like one person can have multiple personalities based on multiple figures or multiple, that kind of thing, like different variants of yourself. Looking into that, I think it's a very clear and fair explanation for us to look forward into Spider-Man, like since we're gonna have like probably different Spider-Mans. So it's a very good way for Marvel to tease us and open our mind and make it easier for us to watch the remaining films. Yeah.
Yeah, so on my thing, I think in No Way Home we will probably see, yes, the multiverse, with different Spider-Man and things like that. But I think we will truly understand the multiverse in the MCU per se, because we cannot say that the multiverse will be similar like what it's in the comic, because sometimes Marvel with their creativeness they can want to do something a little bit different. So so in Multiverse of Madness, in Doctor Strange, I think that's why you will see the full culmination of everything. Like maybe it's something like previously where if you look at phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3, there are certain movies where like things are explained broadly, right? So it will be the same thing in Multiverse of Madness, where we will see, okay, then we truly understand, okay, what is the multiverse in the MCU per se.
Yes, exactly. So I guess until then we can just wait. We are very excited because Phase 4 is finally opening up, and it's revealing with all these new movies being lined up. So hopefully that we can watch all of these movies together, and we can come up with more theories. Where I feel more solid theories once we watch these movies, and we can explain more on that. So I think we are done with our theories and our sharing. Like I mentioned, we'll wait for the rest of the movies. Let's move on to our next segment, which is Word on the Street.
Word on the street.
Stand back, watch the bomb drop. All the competition that try to compete. Stand back.
So basically, what we do on Word on the Street is we take whatever talks that has been going on the streets, or whatever articles or whatever paparazzi photos that we can find online, and we're going to share with you guys. So our first word on the street today is from Sean.
Okay, guys. So the first word on the street that I have here is okay. So we go back to the Instagram story of Hugh Jackman where he posted a picture of a Wolverine suit, and then he posted a picture of himself with Kevin Feige. So that made a lot of rounds over the internet. So what we suspect is that maybe he's trying to hint on something, because we know now with the latest announcement that there might be a X-Men, which I will let Eric explain later, but there might be an X-Men. So the there are chances that Hugh Jackman maybe he wants to reprise a role in what they call in X-Men, maybe in the MCU as Wolverine. So this is a news that's coming out where people have asked him and he has not said no. In the interview he didn't say no, he didn't want to do it, or he just like say like deny it or whatever. He left it open for us to word on the street lah. Right, so that's what happened. So yeah, right, so that one's on Hugh Jackman. Yeah.
Okay. So second word on the street is, as you guys know, there has been talks going on saying that Spider-Man is a Christmas movie, something like Die Hard, and there has been set photos showing that Spider-Man is taking place during Christmas. But then what's interesting is when Hawkeye series that is coming soon, when that set photos were released, that also showed a few Christmas elements over there. So the theory is that Spider-Man and Hawkeye are taking place at the same time. And what further to prove it is Hawkeye is set to release on November 24th or 27th, if I'm not mistaken. And then Spider-Man is set to release on December 16 or 17. Okay, so this is like in a very short period, right after Hawkeye, a few weeks later, Spider-Man is dropping by. So I have a feeling that these two stories are being interconnected, because one thing we know that Kingpin, the villain from Spider-Man and also the villain from Daredevil, is appearing in Hawkeye. Okay, and we also know that Matt Murdock is spoken to appear in Spider-Man. So more the reason how these stories are going to relate. So they are going to be really close together lah. Same like how Loki is set to play a part in the multiverse in the next movies. Same like Hawkeye and Spider-Man.
So moving forward, what I have for you guys is well, you all know the directors of Captain America: Winter Soldier, Civil War, and also Infinity War, and also the bonkers Endgame, the perfect. So the Russo brothers are in talks to direct Secret Wars. Okay, we all know in comic books, Secret Wars is something. It was something epic, epic comic book event itself. It's also borrowing from the multiverse storyline notes from multiverse alternate versions of the superheroes fighting among each other and everything. So we might have Secret Wars Avengers Secret Wars down the lane. Maybe it's next Avengers 5, but we know the good work done by Russo brothers. So we'll see how it goes. But if at all if they direct it, I think it will be super cool.
Yeah, I think they directed what movie was it previously? Thor, was it Thor? Endgame, right?
Endgame.
Was it Thor? I thought the first Thor or second Thor they directed too, right?
No. There was someone else.
Thor. I also can't remember.
Thor was Eric's favorite. Eric's favorite director. What's his name?
Like,
Eric said.
Waikiki. I hope he doesn't come and find me and sue me.
Yeah, we
Hey man.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking about Thor, the next word on the street is about Lady Thor. So as you guys all know that Lady Thor is set to appear in Thor: Love and Thunder, but then there has been talks going on that and you guys know that it's Jane Foster who is going to take up Mjolnir and become Lady Thor. But there has been talks going on that it may not be the Jane Foster from this timeline. So Lady Thor may probably be from an alternate universe, because you know how the multiverse is already expanding. So probably we still retain our Thor, Because I was quite bummed, like, if Jane Foster becomes Lady Thor, what happens to Thor Odinson? But it may be that Thor Odinson just retains and he meets Lady Thor from another universe.
No lah, if let's say Thor Odinson doesn't become Thor, then we get Jess Odinson to become Thor lah.
You just have to bring the hammer, Jess.
Yeah.
I got the hammer in my toolbox only.
Show in the toolbox, not somewhere else.
Hey, PG-13 content.
All right. Okay. So on my end, I have another word on the street, which is basically this is a report. It's a rumor, not confirmed yet or not. But it is kind of a rumor that's starting to build some traction a bit lah. So as you know, with the recent release of Phase 5, what they're going to do and things like that. So there is a rumor that down the pipeline, Kevin Feige is actually planning on Spider-Woman, right? I don't know how that's going to work. As it is with Spider-Man, there got so many problems. So with Spider-Woman, I don't know what they're going to do. But yeah, so there is so they already sort of have this person in mind who they want to play as Spider-Woman. So the person that's actually reportedly is supposed to be casted as Spider-Woman is actually Daisy Ridley. So we can expect something down the line in terms of Spider-Woman being in the MCU. So it's something nice, something new. I think because with Young Avengers, with a lot of things that are coming up. So having Spider-Woman maybe plays into the multiverse sort of thing. So there's a lot of things that they can do. So it's pretty exciting times actually.
Actually, interestingly enough, we have seen Spider-Woman actually. Do you all know where?
Yeah. Is it in Andrew Garfield?
No.
Oh, sorry. Oh, is it the Into the Spider?
Yeah. Where
That's
we see.
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, but it's still Spider-Woman. She's a girl.
No, Spider-Woman.
No. Spider-Woman is a different character by itself, like Jessica Drew.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So
You have to-
I'm
You have to
hoping
specify. People's going to think girl Spider-Woman. So you have to be very specific.
that Spider-Woman is a very old character from the comics. I think Spider-Gwen was fairly new, introduced. But I'm hoping if they do introduce Spider-Woman, they must do justice to her costume lah, because in the comic I cannot take that huge triangle on the
No,
forehead.
we don't want another Catwoman debacle.
Yeah. R.I.P. to Halle Berry's Catwoman.
Alright.
So speaking about shows, this is very interesting, super interesting because Marvel had already released or announced all the movies and series and shows that they're going to do throughout Phase 4. What's surprising is this came out from several sources, not just one, not just two, but a few. And they all said about the same thing, but it's unannounced. Even Marvel hasn't clarified or classified anything. So what's interesting is that there are supposedly nine unannounced Marvel shows that are in development. In development in the sense that they are going to start casting, looking for the directors, casting, and choosing their shooting sites and whatnot, all that kind of stuff. So we can expect to see, if this were to move forward, we can expect to see them in the next 2-3 years per se. So what these rumors has listed out, which is similar, I'm only gonna read out those. It is Ghost Rider, Secret Warriors. I'm not sure whether it's the same as Secret Wars. I think Secret Warriors has their own play. The best, Illuminati, out of those. Young Avengers, what we were teased from WandaVision. Nova, I'm not sure what Nova is about too. And Mutants. Those are the 6 that has been listed out. The remaining 3 is question marks for now. But those are the 9. There are 9 unannounced movie by Marvel, so we just have to wait and see how the rumors go. Maybe we'll have an update on the next word on the street. So we'll see.
Nice. I really hope to see Ghost Rider as soon as possible.
Yeah, man. Ghost Rider has been like a talk and for very, very, very long time. I think
They
it's
did it
about
for
time.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but then they did another version of Ghost Rider. They did the Robbie Reyes version. He goes by the car, but they also did a version of Johnny Blaze inside the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. Correct. I saw that scene.
The curse to Robbie Reyes. So then we have Illuminati. Oh my god, we just have to wait for Mr. Fantastic to come over.
Yeah, I can't wait for Illuminati, man.
That was one of the dark versions of comic book run, but it's super cool. And then we have Young Avengers. We know they're already seeding with Young Avengers. We already have Wicked and Speed from WandaVision. Then we already are going to have Hawkeye, the girl version of Hawkeye. And then after that, we already have Kid Loki introduced also as well from the Loki series.
Yeah.
So yeah, so moving forward, I think we have a lot. Then we have mutants. Wow, super cool.
Yeah.
So moving forward, Word of Street. What I have is Heimdall. We all know who Heimdall is. He has in talks to return for Thor 4 Love and Thunder. I don't know how it's going to play out, but it's not confirmed. But if at all he comes in, I don't know how it's going to play out in what version. Maybe an alternate version of Heimdall. We never know because we're already heading through the Multiverse saga, so we're not sure. So we'll see how this goes.
No. Is it Heimdall the character, or is it the actor that's going to reprise the role as Heimdall?
I mean Idris Elba himself, the character.
Idris Elba lah.
Yeah, they say Idris Elba himself.
We only saw a reference in him in Loki. I think it was episode 1. Was it episode 1? Yeah. Where Loki got saved from Heimdall after scamming the whole airplane and getting the money. Going as what was the name? Harry?
DB Cooper.
DB Cooper. Yeah. So we got that small reference that Heimdall.
Heimdall.
There small reference to Heimdall.
Taika Waititi to Heimdall.
Yeah, Eric got some.
It's okay. I'll take all the
pronunciation
shots today. I got no shield for me to defend myself.
Yo. Okay, anyways, moving to our final word on the street is, I believe most of you guys would have seen a few photos revealed about Spider-Man's black and gold suit. Recently, I think about a week or two back, Hot Toys released a very detailed model of the suit. Hot Toys, they're very detailed with their toys. So this suit appears to have circuits and chips on it, so it actually resembles an unfinished product. So it looks like the suit is unfinished. If you guys if you guys have watched Spider-Man Homecoming, you will realize when Peter tries to remove the GPS tracker from his suit, he turns it upside down, and it was similar. It was like gold linings with black. So and this also resembles, if you guys know, Iron Man suit Mark 42, which was called Bones. Bones is basically an unfinished suit also, so it's black with gold platings. So this is what I think that the story goes on. And there are some photos where the glove is just plain red, and there are some photos where the glove looks like he's wearing some kind of gold band and shooting out webs that has Doctor Strange enchantment on it. So the idea is Doctor Strange upgraded Spider-Man's unfinished suit for him to fight in battle. So which I think is quite interesting.
That'll be cool though.
Yeah, that'd be damn
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Like, imagine you get a magic buff.
Yeah.
Go forth and become strong.
Yeah. It's quite
I
interesting.
like how specific Jess got with his Iron Man Mark 42 and stuff, bones or
Yeah,
whatsoever.
the fanboy
Just-
part came up.
Yeah, just you all know, Jess a big fan of Mark, all the Iron Man suits. Probably
Yes,
he'll name his son Mark also one day, Mark 1.
His first son will be Mark 31. His second son will be Mark 32. Yeah, therefore.
Yeah, I could do that lah. So yes, that's all from Word on the Street. And we are at the end of our segment, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed our theories about the multiverse, and you also enjoyed whatever word on the streets that we picked up on. So don't forget to leave your comments. We might have missed a few things on our theories and word on the street. So leave your comments on what you think about the multiverse, or what additional word on the streets that you guys have that we would be happy to know as well. And also don't forget to like and subscribe so that you are in the loop to watch all of our future videos, and we hope that you guys will enjoy all of our videos. And that is all from the Geek Street, and the street has spoken. That's all from us, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
Ciao.
Bye bye.